Howdy, Ramblers.
Howdy.
It's really loud in here. Oh. We can probably turn that down now.
I think so.
Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Today is another in our series of homebrewing steps that we started on our Ramblin' Bears channel, and we're continuing here on Ramblin' Beer. And today we're going to talk about cooling and pitching. We've just pushed this off the heat. We got to get the hoses hooked up fast. Once a boil is over, your wort is susceptible to infection, so you want to get it cooled down and get yeast in it quickly.
15 minutes before the boil is over, you have to put in your immersion cooler. It's a copper coil. We have hoses that attach to each side. One attaches to the sink. Turn it on, cold water will flow through the coil and cool down the liquid inside. There's
several other types of coolers that you could use. Plate coolers and heat exchange coolers if you're doing anything more than a partial. No other way really to get the temperature dropped down. The other things that we've added before the boil ended were the spoon that we're going to use to stir and our floating thermometer. Keep an eye on the temperature as it drops. One of the things that we really like to do is reuse this hot water that's coming out of here off the cooler. So we actually have it pouring into a dirty keg. That way we're not using new energy to heat the water, and this water's not just going right down the drain. We check to see this temperature. When it gets down to about 100, 110, we'd like to switch it over, and instead of having the water pour out, we like to have it recirculate through ice blocks. And we use this cooler system with a fountain pump and some ice blocks to recirculate the water. It speeds up the cooling process, and it also helps us save water in the long run, so we're not just pouring it down the drain. And it can be really helpful if you're in a hot climate, but that's more than you need to know. We did a whole video on this, so make sure and check it out. Now really what we need is to get down to about 70. Then we can pour the beer into our sanitized carboy and get it pitched and everything. We have a gas hose that we use because we use oxygen, and we'll want a stopper. We've got these stainless steel shafts. This is an air stone for the oxygen. Normally we would boil this, but sometimes we also just star sand it. Got a blow off tube. Woo!
That was splashy.
You don't want that in your eye.
No.
We've got a large silicone tube. What do we do with this one? This is the actual beer tube.
It is. That's a beer tube.
Actually, we have a lot of beer tubes. The beer tuber name is now a lot funnier to me. We have our turkey baster, which we find is the easiest thing to take a sample at this point.
We're cool enough. I mean, the beer is cool enough.
Usually now we'll disconnect one of these. What we like to do a lot of times is give it a big stir and then let it settle a little bit before we're done. That helps get into big chunkies. So I give it a huge whirlpool. I'm done with the spoon now too. So what do we usually do first?
You take your tubie. Oh, and take the thingy. The tubie and the thingy.
So this carboy we've already sanitized. We always take a sample because it's important to know if you hit your targets. This looks like 1.056, so right where I like to be. So carefully pour this back in. It's sanitized. So from here, we're ready to drain, aren't we?
Ready?
Yeah.
Go!
We like to use the bottled oxygen to oxygenate our beer, but you can also use a filter on an aquarium pump that will pump basically clean air in. So same thing, drip dry. I'll actually turn the oxygen on for a second just to blow it out, blow the sanitizer out of the stone.
But we do this for 45 seconds.
And most of the time it will blow beer foam out the top as you do this too, so be prepared for that.
Yeah, we wrap it with a towel. So you got this English ale yeast that we're using. We are going to shake it. We're going to shake it and shake it.
We also like to use starters a lot. Starters is a really good way to ensure you have healthy yeast, but most of these packages have enough to make your beer just fine. And we wanted it about 70 degrees because it happens to be, for most of the yeast, about the best temperature for them to replicate and get started.
Okay, so this beer has now been chilled, the yeast has been pitched, and it's ready to go.
But next episode, we'll learn all about cleaning and how to get rid of this mess in here.
So if you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. We are on Facebook. We are also on Twitter.
Ramblin' Bears on all of those, and also on Untapped if you want to see what we've been drinking lately.
That's pretty much it for now.
Until next time,
Ramble on.